Hi, I'm Godima from Prometheus. This is my first YouTube video. I'm going to be doing an AI series explaining the foundational papers behind AI. AI was technically invented in 1958, and it only became well known to the average Joe around 2020, maybe around the release of ChatGPT 3. But AI has gone back all the way to, in my opinion, 1958, some would argue earlier. Um, and so I realized that I had the opportunity, because I'm reading the foundation papers of AI, to go through them and make a video on each and explain exactly what they discovered, what they were used for, where they failed, and to document the progress of AI from all the way from 1958 to the present day. Um, so I decided that I should make this video even before I've done all the preparation, just to get my feet in the water, so to speak, and start my YouTube journey, hoping to someday get hired by a big AI company like XAI or OpenAI or DeepMind, um, maybe even Meta AI. And so I realized that because I don't come from academia, I mean, I have a philosophy degree, which helped me think critically and taught me the logic I need to help explore AI. It's not considered technically valuable conventionally, so I realized I can prove myself through demonstrating my competence in AI through YouTube and GitHub, but starting with YouTube. Um, so far in my journey, I've been working on pre-training layers. I've made a single layer perceptron successfully that can distinguish between T and J in an image, and I started working on a multi-layer perceptron, but then my computer broke down, so I'm getting the computer repaired. But so I'm down from that, but I realized I can take this time to start a YouTube series explaining the history of AI. So, yeah, the plan for the channel is to, so I, so I'm doing things on several fronts. So one is I'm building a supercomputer at home for AI, so I'll document that journey as well. I'm building, AI models. So first, I'm trying to rebuild historical models, um, and because I have no formal training, I'm teaching myself kind of with the help of chatbots and practice to master these AI techniques. But I also have a number of novel approaches to AI, um, and so I'm going to document those too, because I think that I have a solution to the hallucination problem. I have a solution to the problem of AI not being able to give um, correct code the first time after a prompt for complicated tasks. I think I have solutions for how to have AI write long programs, even thousands of lines, which are correct first time. Um, and so I think I have a lot to contribute to AI, but the industry's been ignoring me so far because I don't have the technical credentials or whatever. And so I realized that I can prove myself through explaining my ideas on YouTube as well as writing them in code. And for me, it's easier to invent new models of AI than to write them in code, simply because I can come up with a new model in a day, but it takes much more time to actually write in code. I'm good at code too. I'm learning that as I go, but it's just, well, if you have any experience with coming up with new theories, that it's relatively quick. Well, having the idea is quicker than putting it into practice and engineering it. as Elon Musk says, like what he does is 1% inspiration and 99% perspiration. It's fairly accurate. So I do have my own AI company, Analysis Labs, and so I may end up just going solo and doing my own AI company, but I'm hoping to get hired by a big AI firm. I'm just really interested in science and getting AI which is good at real world problems. So, like, in May, I was doing an experiment just to measure the rate at which water boils off. So I heat up the water to boiling, I put it in a beaker on a scale, and then I watch, like, what's the rate of evaporation, when does it kind of stop evaporating, or anything like that. And what I realized was I wanted to have a record of every single time the weight changed on the scale, and that happened thousands of times within an hour. And so I took a video of it. I did several videos, which was great, but then I realized that for 1 hour of video, it would take 50 hours to write down all the times that the weight changed, to record all that on a spreadsheet. And so I realized that this model did not scale of manually recording, so I realized I would have to create AI to do this. So my first idea was to use an API with ChatGPT or Grok or something like that, some kind of visual AI, to get the numbers out of images, out of like screenshots or whatever, or frames. But then I tried that approach, and because the images were relatively low contrast, I mean, with my eyes I can see the numbers clearly, but the chatbots couldn't see them. But in principle, a diffusion model should be able to solve that problem if it's trained, especially around those constraints. So I realized I needed to build a model with diffusion to log the data essentially from the video. So the video basically includes different screens with numbers on them from the different the thermometer, humidity, scale, all that. And so I realized that I really needed an AI to log all that data, which in turn has taken me 1,000 hours of programming so far. So I guess in that sense it's been slower than actually manually logging the data, but it's more rewarding, and I feel like it will eventually scale to the point where I can just take a video and the AI will transfer all the data to a spreadsheet, and then I have further AI models for figuring out what equation maps to the data best, because earlier this year, maybe in April or something like that, I figured out an algorithm for how to actually find the curve of best fit for whatever curve it is. It could be sinusoidal, it could be parabolic, it could be some mix of the two. It could be something even much more bizarre. It could be literally anything. And so I realized this is a big step in mathematics, because we have linear regression and we have a few other things like cubic regression, but there's no general curve of best fit algorithm, and I found that algorithm, and I can't imagine a better approach to solving the problem unless we found something that was closely analogous to linear regression for anything, but I think that's going to be as unsolvable as the precise version of the three-body problem. But I think my method will be the best approach, and it can apply to any curve. So you can just like say, I want the curve to be x to the e power, and I can figure out what's the margin of error for that mapping to a data set with my best curve, a curve of best fit algorithm. So I'll be explaining all this on this channel. So a combination of mathematical insights, AI insights, how to make a supercomputer at home, in case you're interested in that kind of thing, and also explain the history of AI. So I'll be doing a bunch of different YouTube video series, but this is my first video just to get the ball rolling, and see you on the next video. My next video will be on the 1958 paper on perceptrons and by Rosenblatt, and so see you soon.